All right. Not exactly sure what I'm going to title this, but I know I want to get in game before I really start talking, mainly because I don't want to see on the title screen. There we go. And there's this. Well, I guess it's the same theme. I really didn't know why I did that, but yeah. I mean, not exactly sure what I'm going to title it. If I'm thinking, I'll likely probably title it "Insurgents," like "Run to Hold" or something. Like, yeah, I mean, just kind of what this video is supposed to signify, because I've done sort of videos with titles like this before, is that I'm going to be taking like a pause or break in terms of the series recording or whatnot, because obviously Insurgents is just one continuous series. It's not like a Civ series or DDLC mod, which can be kind of finished in a reasonable amount of time. Obviously, I need to take like breaks or pauses, or as the video will likely be titled, holds in order to finish it. Not even necessarily for like just a refresher, because I really enjoy playing this game. I really don't want to stop. Ultimately, more so just due to time constraints and like real world stuff or whatnot. So yeah, I mean, just kind of to give the rundown, I'm doing two series at once. This one, obviously, well, until now at least, and then DDLC Longer Roads, which is a DDLC mod. I'm reaching a point to where, like, okay, it is, looking at the date, it's July 16th. So yeah, it's July 16th. I'll be, I'll ultimately be heading back to school like mid-August. So obviously the question, not even mid-August, because I'll need to start preparing. Basically, the turn of August is when, things I need to start winding down, right? Also realize how loud it was. But yeah, mid-August is, or not even mid, but start to August is when things start winding down, and I need to start preparing to go back to school or whatnot. That's sort of the marks the end of summer or whatnot. Basically, or just my time to record in summer. They don't record during the. I only did that once during spring a couple of years ago, but yeah, now I no longer do it. So, because prioritization, right? Like recordings I can do when I have free time, but if I'm busy with other stuff, I need to prioritize that. Basically, you know, um, that gives me about half a month left, like basically to the end of June, maybe a little bit past the start of August, to wrap up whatever recording series I need to do. Given that time frame, I think it's obvious I'm not going to finish Insurgents. I mean, granted, we're at the Pokemon League. However, there's still so much loose ends in the story, right? There's still much of the story to like go on and do, right? So, and that's not even including post game like stuff we may be able to do, such as like legendaries or like I'm solely referring to the rest of the main story. So I don't think I can finish that within half a month. And as I said earlier, I'm doing sort of two series at once, this and Longer Roads. And ultimately I had to choose between one of these two, right? I can't continue both. For one of them, I may be able to do more. I may be able to finish Insurgents if I do like doubles or maybe even triples, but that's assuming I won't need to do a ton of stuff off camera. Like simply in order to fight the Elite Four, I need to train my Pokemon up to max level, which could take anywhere from 5 to 10 hours and stuff like that's it makes it really not an appealing option in terms of trying to complete Insurgents before the end of summer. So, and not only on top of that, this is regarding DDLC mods or whatnot. I generally don't try to split up the series for DDLC mods, like as I mentioned earlier, how I can get it done in one go, as opposed to needing to take pauses or breaks like Insurgents. Because the one time I did, it was actually DDLC New Eyes, which is my favorite mod. So it wasn't really good for the experience, but still, it's my favorite mod. So, but yeah, I don't want to replicate that. So, meanwhile, as opposed to Insurgents not looking attractive, really to try and finish finishing Longer Roads is looking extremely attractive, given I don't want to split up the series or whatnot. And then not only that, this is also following from that. looking forward to sort of winter, which is the next opportunity I'm going to get to record. Ultimately, if I finish Longer Roads here, like Longer Roads is a series during the summer, that'll give me more time to record Insurgence during the winter, given I won't be finishing that up or whatnot. Because that wouldn't be ideal if I needed to split up Longer Roads to the winter or whatnot, right? So ultimately, if I get that out of the way, I can focus more on Insurgence during the winter. Granted, I'll still play the DLC mods. It just won't be the case where I'll be finishing up Longer Roads while playing new DLC mods. Instead, it'll be Insurgence and new DLC mods. And given another 3 to 4 weeks, because I should also mention, I was on extremely good pace this summer. It took me about 2 years. The first runner playthrough, that was about 2 years worth of work. And I think it was like around 30 episodes in 30 hours, and I was around level 50s. In the span of about 2 months, I made it to 100 hours. First off, and I started April 26th, but I didn't start actually like making progress until mid to late May. So in the span of about 2 months, I did 100 hours worth of progress, which is nice. And I also got to level 90s, and I think I'm closing in on part 70. I think so. I just upload part 70. So I'm on extremely good pace for this. So I think if I stop now, granted, obviously I'll do everything I need to do to prepare for the Elite Four. That I actually mentioned in the previous part. But still, so I'll do all that off camera, obviously. But ultimately, I think if I sort of hit the ground running in terms of when wintertime rolls around regarding to Insurgence recordings, and may be able to finish it during the winter. I mean, just being 100% honest, that'll likely add another 50 some hours to the game. So that may be enough to finish it. I mean, I know there's story and plot after the Pokemon League, which is why I'm making this decision. And the question's like how much. I think there is a possibility that I can ultimately game by the end of winter. If I start, if I do everything I need to do to prepare to fight the Elite Four, kind of hit the ground running when it comes to when I eventually come back to like this very place in the game during the winter. So yeah, that's kind of my plan. I mean, I wasn't sure whether I was gonna make a video like this. I figured, okay, maybe if I finish Longer Roads, I can come back, but I really don't think that's the case. Like, I just think that'd kind of be a waste. Like, I'd maybe get like a few more parts in, but like I wouldn't be able to get past the champion, or maybe I would. But even so, then that opens up all the story and plot, which I may as well just wait. Given I'm at a really good stopping point, obviously right before the Elite Four, which is something you really need to train up for, but. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm proud because, like, the first runner playthrough, again, like I mentioned, that was about 2 years worth of work. Ultimately got about 30 hours in the game, 30 parts through, like, hit level 50, I think and then obviously the second runner playthrough, the exact opposite, about 2 months of work. 2 months of work, started April 26th, but really started, like, mid to late May. I got 100 hours worth of work, around 70 parts, and now, I'm at level 90s, and I'm right at the Elite Four. So, yeah, I mean, sort of getting this far in the game wasn't really, what would you call it? Like, that wasn't even really an idea in the first runner playthrough, because the first sort of hiatus I took for the first runner playthrough was at, I think it was Rogan Town, the one desert town, and the second I took was, I think it was at the Utira Library. I think it was actually right before that. That was the second hiatus I took. And then that was for the first runner playthrough, right? Because then obviously, after that was done, I made a few videos detailing where the series went in the future, given I wanted to continue it in this runner playthrough, which I definitely don't regret. That was definitely the right decision. And then I played through a decent amount. I got all the way, in just for context, I had around 3 to 4 weeks break before I got busy during the summer, even though I was still able to record. And it was my goal to get to where I was in the game then. And I actually did, with about a couple or few days to spare. And that was when I made a video on that. I think it was like called Insurgence Continuation or something that kind of detailed sort of the context and background for my knowledge on the game. And then between then and now, I made all that work. So yeah, definitely just kind of final wrap up, like concluding thoughts. Yeah, this makes sense. It's sort of like future thinking, right? I think this is sort of the best way to ensure that I finish the game, because that's ultimately the goal, right? Like, that's really is the goal, like to finish the game. So I think this is the best way in order to do so. And yeah, hopefully, again, I think I can finish the game during the winter if I hit the ground running. So if I'm fully prepared to fight the Elite Four from the very first day, I think it can be done. I think it's entirely doable. But yeah, I'm going to end it here. That's really all I want to say. I mean, it's like, yeah, that's just kind of sucks, but, it's what it is. Obviously, I'll be doing the work on my own, but I won't really be recording this again until winter, pretty much, right? So, yeah, I mean, but obviously, like I said, makes the most sense and is the best for regarding long-term sort of decision making. But yeah, I'm gonna actually end it here now for real. But yeah, so I guess that's it. See you when I start recording again.